Well, President Biden working to strengthen the U.S. government's relationship with Native American tribes and Alaska Native tribal nations to give them a voice with federal agencies. 2 Works View's Katie Kelleher shares what this means and how it affects local tribes.
Cherokee Nation Principal Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. tells me they started discussions with the Biden administration during the transition process. He says no matter who is in office, it's important to hear this message from the White House.
Respect for tribal sovereignty will be a cornerstone of our engaging with Native American communities.
Giving Native American tribes a seat at the table. That's the goal of the memorandum issued from the White House Tuesday. It's giving federal agencies 90 days to come up with a plan of action to consult tribal nations on issues that involve them.
Anytime an agency does something that might hurt, help, impact in any way tribes, tribal citizens, tribal lands, it could be environmental regulations, it could be health policy, it could be any number of things.
Chief Hoskin Jr. says having this connection with the U.S. government allows them to engage on key issues, such as health care funding for tribes. He says this relationship is good for tribal members and the state.
It's really also important for every Oklahoman. I mean, to have a sovereign government at the table when regulations or other activity is proposed, and for us to be able to say, this is what we think is best for our communities.
This memorandum comes after an executive order in 2000 and another memorandum in 2009, both with a similar message. Chief Hoskin Jr. says hearing Tuesday's message from President Biden is encouraging, especially after he says the Trump administration never issued one. He says the memorandum gives them hope for even better communication in the future.
My hope is that a generation from now, this is so commonplace that it doesn't change from administration to administration. So I think we're on a trajectory of progress and better relations, but I also think there's so much room for improvement.
Katie Kelleher, 2 Works for You.